And we are live.
Welcome.
Welcome
Hi,
to
guys.
our podcast. We're going to basically just chit chat for a little while we wait for Troy to
Yeah,
come in.
because if you're new to Black Pros Club, the most consistent thing we have is technical difficulty.
Every time we're about to go live, somebody's computer has an issue, someone's internet goes out. We
Yep.
just learned to deal with it. It's been like, what, 4 years, 5
Yeah.
years?
It's a running joke at this point. It's just like, yeah, everything's set, ready to go. Okay, 5 minutes before. Oh no.
Every time.
Every single time.
So, Brittany, how have you spent NEKKID day one?
Honestly, I have been listening to audiobooks because I've had to do some commission stuff today. So I have been on my couch in varying positions, but with my headphones on.
Okay.
So
that's the beauty of audiobooks. You can multitask.
It's the best thing about audiobooks. Like I have every plan tonight to like take my shower and like wind down and like actually read a book like with my physical read.
Yes.
Hopefully, but I can't make any promises at this point. So we're just going to let the audiobook swoon us today.
I think that's completely fine. I was going to ask, is your TBR just the prompts and then our group read? Did you add anything extra?
I have I get to scream this like, hey, thanks to, ADHD. I have a couple romance books that I started in like various parts of the year, whether I was like traveling or something like that. And they're all left off at like various points. So I figure once I read the 4 books that I picked for my TBR, I'll just go through that list and see how many of them I can get through.
Okay.
Because there was a couple of them. I think there's like 5 or 6.
I feel like my NEKKID has just become an ode to Love Belvin. I swear to God, I don't plan it. But every year my TBR just becomes Love Belvin books, with the exception of the one book that I have to read from a new author, which, by the way, I will be taking suggestions during this live. And even after the live, if you want to DM me on Instagram at Oshi Reads, or if you want to slide into our DMs on Black Prose Book Club on Instagram, because I still have not been able to find a book for that prompt. I'm still at a loss, but everything else on my TBR is Love Belvin.
I will say prompt 2 required me to sit on Amazon for like an hour, just like going, like I would find the author, and then, when you click the author, it shows like everything that they've written. And I was like, okay, let's just go down the list. I quickly learned though that I'm just not, I am a rom-com girly. I am not a like drama. Like it's like the drama can be on a sitcom and I'll read it. But if it has to be drama that can only be on HBO or Stars, I may not want to read it.
You're like a very specific niche romance reader where you want it to be cutesy. You want like the meet cute that's really cute. You don't want like too much angst. You don't like a lot of angst, and you don't like a lot of just like insane things going on, and you don't like it to be dark or like over the top. You just
I'm realizing that I'm not a dark romance girl. Like when I read the plot and it starts off with somebody getting kidnapped or something, I'm like, yep, nope, checked out.
You don't like anything toxic. Like,
no.
I am here for the toxicity. Like the more toxic, the better. Like the more toxic, the more entertaining. I am here. Like bring on all the mafia dons and the drug heists and the baby mama drama and the ex-girlfriend drama and the ex-boyfriend drama and the ex-husband drama. Bring it on. The kidnapped kids, like bring it on. Wait, Brittany's like, no.
I came in at an interesting time.
We're basically talking about how I learned that I'm just not one of those. I'm not the romance reader that like if the story can be on Stars or HBO, I'm less likely to read it. Whereas if it's on like a regular network, I'm like, oh yeah, that's cute. I'm gonna read it.
So we were just talking about how hard it was for us to find a book for prompt number 2, where you have to read a book by a new author. And I was just appealing to our audience for help. But let's go ahead and get started. Now the Troy's here.
Yes, I'll do my lovely like flight attendant voice. So hello everyone. Welcome to Black Prose Club, where Black lives, Black books, and Black stories have always mattered. I'm one of your hosts, Brittany, aka Melanin Eclectic.
And my name is Oshale of Oshi Reads.
And I am Troy Nicole from Inkfleur Studio.
Naked Day 1! Woo!
Woo, 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 woo!
We already covered it. Troy, have you started reading today?
No.
Wait. Before we go down that road, Brittany, you have to do the thing.
Which thing?
Do it.
I don't
like
remember
the horn. The sound.
Oh, it's like we are creatures of habit. It's like welcome to Black Prose.
I love it.
Yeah, I was like, do the thing. It's like, oh, I have done that every time, haven't I?
Every time. Every time.
My bad.
We're not going to go down that road of not reading. I feel like that's just not productive because this is a relaxed readathon. You don't have to read every day. You don't even have to do all the prompts. You don't even have to do the group read if you don't want to. The group read is fun because we all love reading the same thing at the same time and talking about it. But this is very relaxed. If you just read one Black romance, then that's enough for me. We are just trying to celebrate these books and these authors and bring some type of recognition to them and just celebrate them because they just don't get the recognition that they deserve. That's literally the whole point of the readathon. It's not about how many books you can read. It's not about completing all the prompts. We are very relaxed with this readathon.
Yep.
Agreed.
Okay, so do we want to do it where we remind everybody what the prompts are and then we tell them what we're reading for the prompts?
Yes.
Okay, so prompt number 1 is reread a Black romance that you've read in the last 5 years. So obviously, as I've only been reading romance for what? Has it been 3 years or 4 years?
4 years, NEKKID. This is our 4th year.
I have been reading romance for 4 years.
You almost made it.
I'm almost there. So the first NEKKID that we ever did, our group read was Reinvention of the Rose by Christina C. Jones. And that is the one that I am choosing to reread because that sparked, in my head, I have created multiple graphic novels of the Roses and Thorns. Before it became dismantled. I have a whole section in my head.
I feel like at this point, you just need to reach out to our good sis, Christina Jones, and be like in her DMs, like, yo, like what's going on with this storyline?
It's like, listen, I know that romance is your thing, but have you ever considered
it could really be like an amazing spy series?
Yeah, it's like because she gave us the Roses books and then she gave us the Motorcycle Club books that also was like Rose and Thorn related. So I'm like, so you can continue the story. So
yes,
like the whole world.
It's like, give me.
You know what? She may have plans to. She's so prolific and she has so many projects going on that she may very well
true.
Have those
It'll
plans.
be when I completely stop thinking about it that she's gonna bust out a random surprise.
Probably. So what did you pick for that prompt, Troy?
I was choosing between the 3 Love Sisters books by Christina C. Jones. So it was not on purpose that we both chose that. But I ended up choosing Jacqueline's book, which is I Think I Might Love You.
Oh,
is that the first one or the second one? No, that's the last one, isn't it?
That's the first one.
The first one. I love that series. I haven't reread it in a while, so now you want to revisit that whole world.
I love series that involve sisters.
Same.
That is in fact my favorite type. It's like, oh, Black sisters, we kind of like each other most of the time.
Agreed.
Yeah. Okay, so Oshale, which one did you pick for number 1?
So I was just talking earlier, Troy, about how unintentionally my NEKKID every year has just turned into a Love Belvin fest. And I always end up reading her books during this time. I don't know why, but it just happens. But so I'm going to go back to her Sadiq series, which is one of my favorite series by her. And I'm going to reread book 1, He Who Is a Friend. But I already know that when I reread book 1, I will then read book 2, and then I will then read book 3, because how can you just not? So essentially, for this prompt, I'll be rereading the entire series, most likely.
I feel that. I don't know how I'm going to go into reading the Love Sisters and not reading the other 2. So
it's a slippery slope. You're just like, we're already here. Let's just keep going.
I might keep the reread until the last book I read of the week.
Okay, that's fair.
Might be safest.
Okay. Well, turns out everybody might be reading a series for the first prompt, which is valid, and I love that for y'all. Prompt number 2, you're supposed to go to your favorite author on our 2024 updated author list, which is on our Instagram if you haven't done it yet. Go to that author and then count 5 below that author. And then that's the author you're supposed to find a book to read. So for this one, which I know is kind of surprising y'all, actually of all the romance reader books that I've read so far, Alexandria House is the one that's giving me the sitcom rom-coms that I'm asking for.
He definitely does, yes.
Yeah. She's giving me just enough drama. Yes. Where I'm like, ooh, that side character, whoop my ass.
Yeah, I love Alexandria House.
I love Alexandria House.
So, what was it? I wrote it down because the way that I did not remember. 5 below Alexandria House is Jaquel J.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm reading From Come Over to Come Home.
Okay.
Yeah. This will be my first Jaquel J book, so...
This is the one I needed help with, and I'm asking for recommendations because I have several favorite authors, and each one that I went to and counted 5 down, I was just struggling. So if anybody has a recommendation, I am taking recommendation.
From which authors? Like, which authors are options for you?
I did Love Belvin. I did Christina C. Jones. I did Alexandria House. I did Desiree, who freaking loves Desiree. I did Sion Lee, who I also adore. I did Diamond Johnson.
I read that book because of you. That's right.
I'm so sorry for the trauma.
Oh my.
No, remember Sion Lee's the one that wrote the campus one.
Uh-huh. I love that book, but I
wish it was longer though.
Yeah. That's on the list of the romance books that are like in my ADHD TBR. Where like I started them and then like went to something else.
Yeah. Maybe you can finish it during this time.
Yes.
I did Diamond Johnson. I did Nicole Jackson, who I also love.
Oh my
God. I did
Siobhan
Latrice, who I'm obsessed with. I have a lot of different
favorites. Jesus.
So who else did I do I did Sheree Lewis, who I love. I just actually downloaded her new book. May or may not read it during this time. I have a lot of favorite authors and I was struggling. So I am taking open suggestions. If anyone cares to DM me or leave a comment on this live, if you watch it in the playback, or even if you want to slide into our DMs on Black Prose Book Club on Instagram, I'm open.
Okay.
So much like Oshale, I found myself going, oh, okay, well, I like you, 5 down. And then, like I said in our last live, I am in a very specific mood and I just don't feel like drama. And, you know, if there's a little bit of trauma, it's fine. Okay. But the drama, I just don't feel like soap opera-y right now. So I was like, you know what? Why don't I do Farah Roshan? I can never say her last name. I think it's Rokon.
Yeah. He writes cute books.
Huh?
Her books are cute.
Yeah, her books are cute. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go 5 down from her. Apparently, the English degree did not help my math skills.
Oh, no.
I counted 5 down. I counted 5 down and clicked on the wrong author.
Okay.
So I counted 6 down. But I'm not changing it. Just to let y'all know.
You know what? It's fine. As long as it's a new author, that's what matters.
It's a new author.
Yes.
Shay Sanders, and the book is called The Replacements.
I like Shay Sanders.
I've never read anything by them. So
I must say, of course, you've read Shay Sanders already.
It's hard for me to do this.
Oshale has read about a good 80%, if not more, of our author list. So
yeah. So that's why Oshley is struggling so hard on this prompt.
It's real hard. So I'm taking open suggestions. If you know someone, an author that's not on the list, if you are an author that has not yet made it onto our list, please recommend me your book. Thank you.
Honestly, I think a good like solution to that is, instead of saying 5 down, count however many down until you find someone that you have not read.
So
Yeah,
real.
for you, that might have to be the rule, because like it's like just keep counting down until you get to an author you haven't read.
That's true. That's a good point. Okay. So moving on to prompt number 3.
Prompt number 3 is read a book that your friends have been begging you to read. So this year I'm officially diving into Love Belvin. Because as previously stated earlier, not only is Oshley a Love Belvin stan, but so is Troy.
I'm trying to think, what book are you choosing? Because
I'm choosing the one that you've talked about from the first time we've ever talked about romance on this club. It's Love in the Red Zone. The Connecticut Kings book 1.
Connecticut Kings.
That's a good place to go.
Like,
because
that's what I'm starting with.
You don't like, I feel like with Love Belvin, it's kind of like, you know how in the pool they have the deep end of the pool and then they have like, you know, the shallow end. I feel like you need to start with the shallow end and gradually work your way. Am I wrong, Trey?
No, I actually wasn't looking at you like that. I was looking at Brittany because I clicked out.
Yeah, I hit the space bar on accident and it shot you right on out the thing. I was like,
I literally thought that Troy chose to leave. So I was like,
my bad.
I was like, what is going on?
I pushed down on the space bar, and apparently when you hit the space bar, it just shoots the last person off the plane.
I was so confused.
I was very much on the show must go on tease.
Yeah, but say good for you for keeping out with the sentence. You didn't even blink. You just kept going. But yeah, no, you guys have already told me that I need to basically like wade in the kiddie pool and then work my way in. So and this is the one that both of you have talked about how much you love this series. And it's a reread. And so I figured, surprisingly, somehow in the past 4 years, even during Quarantine Pages, I never picked up a Love Belvin book.
That's crazy. Yeah, so this series and the series about the BDSM pastor, top tier.
Never done that one.
BDSM pastor.
Never done that one.
Okay.
That's the deep end. So that's what I mean.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a wild guess and say BDSM. Like, we are here at the sports. I'm guessing it's Red Zone, so it's football.
Yes,
and you're over here with BDSM pastor.
Troy's face.
Troy's face.
I have not read that one.
That series is insanely good.
I believe you, but I'll see. We'll get there eventually.
Yes, we gotta start somewhere, and then we gotta work our way up.
Yeah, because the new fantasy books that have been coming out this year have not been hitting, so I'm starting to go into other genres right now.
The new books in general have not been.
No, but we're gonna have to save that for a podcast because we'll be on here talking for 40 minutes about how we need better editors.
We need better editors. We need better writers. We need people that actually can tell a story and not just, they can like show us, not tell us. There's a lot of telling, not a lot of showing happening. Anyway, so
I'm about to say, caught yourself going on a rant, didn't you?
I was like, oh, pull it back. My pick is a book I told myself that I have to read.
This is such a Sagittarius answer.
Giving yourself a rule?
Giving yourself a book you want to read is crazy, but go ahead.
It's the newest Love Belvin book. In the meantime, it's her newest drop, and it's basically about a guy who mistakes a girl for a lady of the night. And so he like propositions her and he's like, how much? And she's like, what is going on? And it goes on from there.
Okay.
I'm so excited. But yeah, that's basically my TBR. And then
Troy hasn't said hers.
Troy.
So I broke my rule because I was being lazy and saying that I was not trying to have any traumatic experiences. And I was like, you know what? I keep on getting people to tell me to read 7 Days in June by Tia Williams.
Oh,
And I was like, okay, whatever. It's like the one I could think of outside. Because normally when Oshale tells me to read something, I just read it. And she's the only other
Actually, I
romance
have a
one.
lot of Kindle Unlimited saves because of
Yeah, and Oshale is the only person that recommends me romance. So I'm just like, okay, I pretty much read everything Oshale asks me to read within reason. So I was like,
I'm sorry for the trauma that I have.
Within reason is.
I'm serious. Within reason. But everyone keeps telling me that I would love this one. And I understand why people say I would love it. But then I read the synopsis and trauma is like on the second sentence. And I was like, well, okay. So I'm reading 7 Days in June.
That book is, I read one chapter and I was like, I can't do this right now. So
you know what? I said Christina C. Jones will be the last book I read this week. I guess this one will be.
You'll have to tell me how you feel. It was just where I was at the time because it was during the hype for the book and everybody was like, oh my God. And so I was like, okay, yeah. And then I read one chapter and I was like, oh yeah, no.
Not right now.
You were like, I am not in a place where this book will land right.
I just knew it was going to like emotionally devastate me. And sometimes you're just not in the mood for that roller coaster ride.
I think that's valid.
I've heard great things. So I'm excited to hear your thoughts on it. And our group pick.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Our group pick is called The Last Sad Love Song by Kimberly Brown.
I'm trying to find the picture we have of it so I can put it up on the screen.
I'm going to read the book overview while you look for that, just in case people are interested.
Okay.
It says Calliope Callie Palmer is 1 year fresh out of a relationship with a heartbreaking end. Since she decided to focus on herself and her bakery, the last thing Callie was looking for again was love. When her best friend recruited her for a photo shoot with her fiance, Callie had a feeling she was being set up. Her initial apprehension is replaced with immediate attraction, where she lays eyes on the handsome Thane St. Thomas. The 32-year-old headmaster is instantly intrigued with his future sister-in-law's best friend. Single for 2 years now, Thane is no longer looking for a girlfriend. He's now looking for a wife. His initial attraction to Callie is based off their natural chemistry and vibes, but once he pulls back the layers, he discovers she's everything he's been praying for. Join this couple's journey with a sweet, drama-free love story, sure to leave you swooning and wanting more.
I love it. I'm excited.
I am too, actually.
I was caught at bakery because y'all know I love any books that involve like somebody cooking food. So
I know. I think it's going to be really, really cute. And I'm super
that might be the first one that I physically read because it's on Kindle Unlimited. So that might be the first one that I read. Maybe I might start that one.
Kindle Unlimited has my attention.
Yeah, seriously.
Listen, Kindle Unlimited just need to go ahead and sponsor this readathon at some point because
the way we like get all of our reads from them is actually insane.
Yeah, it's like just sponsor us already.
So let's talk about our schedule. So the readathon starts today and runs through the 17th. And on the 17th, we'll be doing a wrap-up live discussing the group read. So all those of you who are going to be reading along with us, you'll have a chance to discuss it. So the first part of the wrap-up podcast will be the group read. And then the second half of the wrap-up podcast will be us talking about all the books we read and just whatever else we want to talk about. So prepare for like the old school Black Prose lives where we're on for like 2.5 hours. Just prepare for that. We know we've been, doing shorter podcasts, but just because we're not doing any, we're not going to be doing any reading sprints this week. Again, this is a very relaxed readathon, and we just want everyone to enjoy themselves and read a Black romance book. That's literally it.
Yep. And remember, if you read any romance books this week and you want to leave a review, they need reviews. So go review. Be respectful in your reviews. If you do videos about the review, don't tag the author. Please have decorum. Thank you.
And also, if you are participating in this readathon, I know a lot of you will be watching this in the playback. Please share your TBRs. We have a TBR template that we posted onto our story. We'll be posting it again.
As we speak.
Share your TBRs and tag Black Pros. Share your reading experiences and tag Black Pros. We would love to see some engagement. Typically, we keep things pretty low key, but we will be reposting if you want to tag us in your TBRs or any thoughts you have about the book. We're also going to be pretty active on TikTok this week. We do indeed have a TikTok. For those of you who are unaware, you can follow us at Black Pros Book Club. And we already have 45 followers. So that's exciting.
Oh, look at us. We got 45 followers.
We started posting more regularly.
I saw the view count. I was like, dang. The view count is really high. It's like 600 something views.
Yes. So I will continue to post on there. I have made it my mission to post on there because I don't know what it is, but I don't like posting on my TikTok. Like it almost makes me feel like low key, like, ooh, cringe. But I will continue posting on the Black Pros TikTok. So if you want to check in, also Troy, Brittany, if you guys want to send me like little video clips, Brittany especially, of like your reactions while you're reading.
Why did I get a DM asking me if I was going to vlog this week to like get the reactions for the books? And I was like, as much as I would love to vlog, I'm gonna have to be real with y'all. I like to read with no pants on.
Facts.
I can't vlog like that.
I consider vlogging. I'm still on the fence about it though.
Yeah, it's like you might get a video from me. I'm not making promises. Like you're not going to get a video today because again, I'm working on commissions and I'm very comfortable when I'm drawing. But maybe tomorrow I will remember to like actually put on a cute outfit and like read with a bra on. And
all I ask for is 10 to 15 second clips of your thoughts and send them directly to me because I will be posting TikToks of our, you know, how we're feeling as we're reading and stuff like that. So send me those clips at any point this week. And
I'm definitely going to do it when I read Love Belvin. I'm definitely going to do it. Because I already know y'all are going to be asking me anyway. So I'm like, yeah, if anything, there might be a reel of me just reading the Love Belvin book and being like,
I love that.
Do I agree with them or do I disagree with them? Let's find out.
I'm excited. But yeah, so we'll be pretty active on TikTok. So if you want to see what's going on, I'll try to be active on Instagram. Our Instagram is a little bit more curated and professional vibes. TikTok is more like ratchet vibe. So
this is very interesting description.
I was like,
wait.
Well, I mean, our version of ratchet is not that ratchet, y'all. So
it's not.
Our Instagram is very, very curated. There is a theme. We are very professional. We keep things like, we don't key on our Instagram like that. Like we are very like matter of fact. So if you want to catch the funny, if you want to catch like stuff like that, it'll be on TikTok. That's all I'm saying.
That could work. Yeah. You can tell Oshley runs the TikTok and I run the Instagram. You can tell.
Well,
it's okay. Oshley has more fun. Mine is like scheduled in advance so that I don't have to think about it.
We all have our roles to play.
We all have our roles to play. Somehow I traded places with Brittany for the last 5 years. She's been our secretary, and then I became secretary this year.
Oh my gosh, that's so true. I literally stopped for some reason. It just switched.
Like, I know you took notes, Troy.
Exactly. It used to be that I was always posting on Instagram, and I'd be the only person on our Instagram, and now me and Brittany switched places.
Y'all switched. That's so funny. But
that's so weird, but also hilarious because that's so true.
Yeah. Also, before we leave, I just have to say this. This is not related to NEKKID in any way, shape, or form.
Okay.
It ends with us drama is literally keeping me up at night.
Wait, before we leave, can we talk about it? Because the way I have been like, guys, I really wish we had a podcast scheduled.
The rabbit hole
I want to talk about it is so serious.
We may have to do an emergency podcast. I'm not even kidding. Like, this shit is literally keeping me up at night. I'm like, what is going on? Did y'all see the Daily Mail came out the article like slandering him?
Yeah, no. News. At this point, it's literally Blake and Ryan's PR versus his PR. And depending on the day, one of them is winning.
Well, here's the thing. People are like, why did everyone in the cast except for like one person unfollow him? Why did his podcast host like distance herself from him and like is like posting only about Blake and how great she did on the film? Like,
you know why? What do you mean why? You know why? Ryan Reynolds has power, honey.
Oh my God. It just makes
I don't know. This whole thing, I'm just like, listen.
At the premiere, none of the other actors took a picture with him. It was just him and his wife and him alone.
Listen, Ryan Reynolds has power. We've heard the rumors about Ryan Reynolds. We know what's up.
Can we also talk about how low key? Okay, so you know how they're spinning it? They're trying to spin it as like, oh, Blake and Ryan, like so cute. They're so in love. They just can't help be where each other is. But what actor husband have you seen be so involved in their actress's wife film where he's literally, there is an interview where he's literally interviewing the love interest in the movie. And
and he looks so
and the love interest was not expecting Ryan Reynolds to be the interviewer. He thought it was going to be like a press person. And then Ryan Reynolds comes in and he's like, and I don't know if it was scripted because they're actors, so it could very well be scripted and it could be just like a bit. But I'm just like, what does it say about you that you can't even let your wife do a film by herself? And then
remember, it came out a week after his big movie, so it can't do too good. It can do well, but not too good.
Then there was an interview on the red carpet where Blake was like, well, with the interview where she revealed that he wrote the rooftop scene. And I have seen so many TikToks of people being like, that was the cringiest scene in the film. So thanks for that, Ryan. But anyway.
Oh my God.
But she's doing this interview and she's like, yeah, Ryan wrote the rooftop scene. No one knows that. Like, this is an exclusive. And then she goes, he worked a lot on the film. Like, I work a lot on his movies. Like, we just work a lot together. Like,
Blake, babes, how do you work on his Marvel movie, sweetie? How? Please tell the class how you can work on a Kevin, on the, no. The brothers let you put input into Daredevil or a Deadpool, sweetie. The only thing that she did in the last Deadpool movie was put on a Deadpool outfit. That's all she did.
The sad thing is, in like 10-something years, we're gonna get some random like tell-all from somebody, and then everything that we've been here today. And I'm just like, no, I want to know now. Like, tell me now.
I also just want the world to know that I will never ever forget Blake's obsession with the antebellum South and the way that she had that whole creepy, like that. No, not just the plantation one. You remember her website?
That's
like her antebellum blog thing where it was very much giving MAGA commercial.
She did. It was scary. And they have tried to bury that. Like, that stuff has been scrubbed off the internet. The part that really disturbs me is that I have now watched multiple TikToks of people being like, I never read the book. I watched like the It Ends With Us promotion where Blake Lively was like, yeah, put your flower dress on, bring your girlfriend, it's fun. And so people who did not read the book and who don't know anything about the movie, because even the trailer doesn't.
Lord, they must have left that theater traumatized.
I have literally watched TikToks of people like shaking and like crying and being like, I did not know what this movie was about. And I'm so traumatized, like, because apparently like the DV scenes are like very, very graphic and like,
well, is it because like I thought, okay, wait, this movie is about DV and what's the love interest name? What's his name in real life?
Justin Baldoni?
Justin bought the rights to the book, right?
Yeah.
And originally he was the person that was directing it. And
well, he did direct it.
And then it got ambushed by Ryan Reynolds and Blake. And so now that's why she keeps advertising like her random like alcohol line and all that other stuff, hair care, instead of like every commercial or every ad I've seen has been like, wear your floral gowns. It's a great time. And then I see in the comments, it's always at least one person that's like, this movie is about domestic violence. FYI, it's not a fun time.
Well, honestly, people are saying that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Troy.
I was just gonna say, like, the easiest thing I could think of about all of this is just like, I knew I could not trust Serena Vanderwoodson. Like, that tells me everything I need to
say that. I was like, remember how we talked about how none of her Gossip Girl crew fucks with her? Like,
apparently someone asked Leighton Meester when she was on a podcast once, like what her current relationship is with Blake Lively. And the only thing she said was like, we are just very different people. I'll just leave it at
she did say that.
You know what that reminds me of? The show Arrow that was on the CW.
Yeah.
Yes.
How, like, you know how they had like Supergirl and they had the Flash?
Yes.
How all those three crews hung out except the main character Arrow, like except him, because everybody hates him.
Like, Amel. His name is like something Amel.
Yeah, it is.
Something Amel, but because
well, now it's come out that he's like a predator or something, right? Like in recent years, it's like
no. He's the prick. He's the like obnoxious MAGA prick, where he basically he pissed off the entire nerd community in like one line, like last year, and then tried to backtrack, and everybody was like, "Too late, bro. That's why your show got canceled."
Yeah, I really liked Blake Lively, which is why this is making me sad. Ryan Reynolds, I was like, you know, he's gotten more.
I tolerate him in his movies. I've never looked at Ryan Reynolds and thought anything other than this man could hide women in his basement.
Like, you know, I didn't watch The Proposal for Ryan Reynolds, so it's okay.
Also facts, because he was not the focus for Proposal. But I love that movie.
No shade to him. Like, even prior to the wedding, prior to this, all this stuff, like, I did not watch The Proposal because Ryan Reynolds was in it. I watched it because Sandra Bullock was in it.
Like, the first time I ever paid attention to Ryan Reynolds was Deadpool, where I realized, oh my God, he was made for this role. That was it.
He plays.
I also really liked him in Definitely Maybe. I'm not gonna lie, I like him as an actor.
I like Definitely Maybe.
I feel like over the years, right? He's become more annoying because he basically just plays the same character in different fonts. And then he's also like that in real life. So it can get annoying because if you're like the characters that you're playing in real life, and then he bought that Metro PCS phone line and
I was gonna say that's not the reason I don't like him. I don't like him because every time I get a YouTube commercial, it's freaking Mint Mobile. And I'm just oh my God.
Yes. Yes.
It's funny, literally outside of Deadpool, I don't care for Ryan Reynolds. I'm not even playing.
I liked him a lot, and then as the years have gone on, I've become neutral on him. But I really liked Blake. I always found her to be charming. Plantation Wedding and Antebellum.
I will never forget that vlog.
Aside, I always found her charming, and she seemed, you know, genuinely regretful. The sad part is I
don't think she's regretful. I think she's just regretful of the reactions that we had to it. I don't think she regrets it. There's no way you can tell me she regrets having a plantation wedding. Sis made whole movie trailers on her blogs devoted to the antebellum South.
The choice to not Google things before you call them stuff is very insane.
I will say, you know what it is? I think I know what it is. It's because I trusted America Ferrera and my good sis Alexis Fidel and the other girl from Sisterhood of the Traveling
You
Pants.
know what? That's a good point.
They're all best friends.
I'm not ready for you to bring up Sisterhood.
That is one of my favorite movies.
I'm not trying to be funny, but she was like the worst one of the four sometimes. So
no, but the fact that they're all really close with her and they've remained close for years, that gave her a social capital and trust in my eyes. That I was like, okay, she must be a good person because my good sis America, you got Alexis over there, you got the other girl. I can't remember her name. I feel terrible. I cannot remember her name. But they're all friends with her, and I was like, okay,
her name?
It can't be that bad.
Tahara to.
I feel terrible. I can't remember.
I feel bad that I don't know her name because I do like her.
Also, she's married to the guy from Arrested Development.
She is. Now I gotta Google it.
It's not with a T. I know.
Sisterhood of the Traveling. Here we go. Amber Tamblyn.
Tamblyn. That's a part of T.
There we go.
Amber Tamblyn. I feel terrible that I forgot her name because I love her. But so I just was like, okay, they still like her. It's been like 15 years. They're still close. Okay.
Maybe they like her for the optics.
But also, okay, I feel like when you don't hang out like periodically, like hanging out every 5 years is not the same thing as being like.
Yeah, I was like, please, because you know who she's good friends with. You know, I'm about to go there, right? You know,
I know. Taylor Swift. You're gonna say Taylor Swift.
We know. Bring 50s to this video for the love of God, please don't.
I don't even have to say it. All I'm gonna say is birds of a feather flock the fuck together, and she's flocking real close to the anti-feminists.
Oh, but I like Taylor Swift too. So what does that say about me?
I'll judge you later. I don't feel like judging you on the internet.
I like her. I don't know her very well, but from what
I'm waiting for the like, because you know how sometimes actors and actresses like Ryan and Blake, like they're kind of hitting what people are like, oh, okay, like they're doing some peak stuff right now, like power couple moves, goals, all that stuff. But whenever that happens, there is always like a boyfriend or like a mistress or a nanny or somebody that comes out and is like, actually, they're like the worst human beings on the planet. Like, so I'm waiting for that.
I just didn't think that their downfall was going to be Justin Baldoni and Colleen Hoover adaptation.
All this stuff about a Colleen Hoover book is insane.
All this for Colleen Hoover.
It was not in my 2024 bingo card. Yeah.
Also, can someone explain to me, because I get it. Colleen Hoover, people like reading Colleen Hoover, and I'm trying my hardest not to laugh.
The way your face looks right now.
I'm trying. Just let me finish. I'm trying really hard.
Oh no.
I understand that people like reading Colleen Hoover, but like, what about Colleen Hoover justifies the level of stardom that she has as an author? Is that like a nice way of putting it?
I get what you're trying to say.
I think that we as Americans just need to admit that we like mess. We like mess. I'm serious. Scandal sells. There's a reason why in Hollywood they say good press, bad press, it doesn't matter. Like the Kardashians is literally built an empire off of that. Same. Like it doesn't matter what we get, good or bad.
Because right before I started this live and I was having all them technical issues, I was watching The Real Housewives of Dubai. So I'm no better.
Scandal sells. People like mess. People like messy people. People like people that have skeletons in their closet.
Okay, fair, but like there are better messy writers.
Agreed.
Okay, I will say this, and I refrain from saying this because I gave Emily Henry a 3.75, and the girlies came for me. TikTok. I was like,
oh yeah, I forgot. They acted like you had just cussed all of them out. They were upset.
That's not that is not a bad whatever. Okay. What I will say about Colleen Hoover, and I think this has to do with like book talk in a general sense, is that a lot of and I was talking about this, I want to say it was Vina once on one of our other lives in the comments, she was talking about this too, was that the thing is that a lot of girls who, and no hate to them, because, you know, get your bag, do whatever you want, I don't care. A lot of girls who were not on BookTube, who did like BeautyTube or, you know, were doing vlogs, they transferred over to BookTube. They like had this low, and not to say they just started reading or something like that, but they're
I'm one of those girls. As you're saying this, I'm actually one of the beauty girls that transitioned into BookTube. So it's really funny that you're saying that. Like,
so when they transitioned into BookTube, they transitioned to BookTube and Book Talk, and they were reading like the really, really hard-hitting romances that are all over social media that BookTube for years already said, like, Colleen Hoover does not write well. Like, that has been a BookTube thing for years prior to it being popular.
I made the joke that Book Talk is actually like 7 years behind BookTube, as
they always are.
And I was like, it actually kind of is true.
They always are.
Yeah,
way behind. Like,
because I will never forget Book Talk acting like they were the first people to read those alien romances. Like, we don't have a whole episode from like 4 years ago of us with our jaw open as Oshle's describing this alien.
In the original print.
What?
In the original print, like the original covers.
I know. I was reading her when she was still traditionally published. She got picked up by a publisher now. Good for her.
Yeah. That's like, I will never forget the way they think that they've like found it. I'm like, sweetie, I don't know if y'all know who Oshale is, but she been on this for a long time.
I just remember describing the first book and y'all were like shook. Y'all were flabbergasted. You're like, what is happening?
So I've never read past the first book.
I've never picked it up. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was a no for me.
I told you, I take Oshale's recommendations seriously, and I go ahead and read them because Oshale is really good about telling me if you read.
No, I lied. There were 2 books. Oshale has read 2 books that I was like, I will stay far away from these. The one with the bear, and then the alien one. Oh shoot! I was like, I love you, Oshale, but no.
Do y'all remember when I secretly like read some of y'all's 5-star books?
Oh my god, yeah.
And I read one of Oshale's, and I swear it was like a beloved book, and I was like, "This not this man saying fuck his kid." Like, and to be fair, it wasn't technically his son, but he like helped raise the boy. I was like, "Oh, he really said this kid."
Yeah. That was a top tier video.
I don't remember which one of Brittany's I did though.
My books weren't that bad, but Oshale's, all of you were just like, "Oh my god."
You're like,
"What am I reading?"
I've realized that I'm an experienced rater. So like 75% of my ratings have to do with the experience I had while reading the book. And then like,
okay,
if that makes sense, especially it's genre specific, but I feel like specifically when it comes to romance and fantasy, I'm definitely more of an experienced reader. Like I had a really great time reading this book, so I'm going to rate it high. Now, when it comes to more like literary fiction or like women's fiction, then I care a lot more. I don't know why, about like the actual writing because of what's going on.
Interesting.
Storygraph told me, I was looking at it a couple days ago to look how close I was to my reading challenge, and Storygraph told me that basically I just like to cry because like the graph they give you for the book it told me that I just read really emotional books, and I was like,
maybe that's why you're drained, Troy. Maybe that's why you're over it.
It could be why. Could be why.
Maybe that's why you just want to read cutesy books.
I'm either reading really, really aggressive fantasy or I'm reading really, really sad lit fic. So I guess
that is hilarious. But also, according to, or while we're on Storygraph, the NEKKID Readathon is on our Storygraph. So if you follow Black Prose Club on Storygraph, you'll see it in the challenge if you want to do it on Storygraph. FYI. Wow. I'm gonna just show y'all what mine looks like because that's hilarious. My moods are very varied. Here are my moods for
oh wow. Oh my goodness.
So
what's the big blue?
The green one is adventurous.
It's green, okay.
And then the orange is emotional, the red is funny, and then the pink is lighthearted.
Are those your top three?
Those are my top three moods are adventurous, emotional, and funny.
My top three are emotional, lighthearted, and funny.
Okay. I need to start using Storygraph.
I don't know. I honestly haven't read that many books this year, and I swear the funny part is just because I like read 3 Heartstopper books.
I've read 40 books so far this year. So,
girl, I read 14.
Well, actually 41 because I finished one yesterday. But yeah. Actually, like low or high key, I like Storygraph. The stats section of Storygraph is very nice because it gives you like a full wrap up of like your mood.
Yeah.
If you're a person that actually tracks like when you start the book and when you finish the book, it'll tell you like what kind of a pace reader you are.
Oh wow.
It tells you like it'll tell you like your most read genres, your most read authors. It gives you like graph breakdowns of like page numbers, audiobook hours. Like,
yeah,
I've just started trying to make sure that I separated which ones I read as audiobooks and which ones I read as
I have to remember to do that.
Actual books, so I can break it down. Yeah, because I had to go back and change a couple of them. But I was dying of laughter because my fiction and nonfiction is just fiction.
What? Just in the world.
Mine is I don't read nonfiction, but yeah, it's all fiction.
Nonfiction.
Also, really quickly, I do want us to try to. This is just like a little bit of like Black Prose Club business, but I want to say it on this live to keep us like accountable. I do want to revisit my Sister Samurai.
Oh yeah, we do have to
before the end of the year. Just because I really want to support this author. She is doing a lot of promo for this book right now.
Yeah, and she just had a signing in Dallas too, which I'm sad because that was during DreamCon. I don't regret going to DreamCon, but I am sad that I didn't get to meet her.
So if those of you who are wondering or maybe new to our book club, we do have a group read that we still need to basically talk about called Sister Samurai by Tatiana Obe, and she's just like an up and coming like So I guess like what genre would you
She's
put?
fantasy.
Fantasy.
The 3 books that she has are fantasy. Yeah.
She's an up and coming Black fantasy author, and we just wanted to support her. She's starting to gain traction, which I love that for her.
Yeah, because I think Sister Samurai got an award or nominated for an award. I think that's what it was.
And I believe her and our good sis,
Chelsea
they're collaborating, I believe, on, I want to say they're doing an anthology that will be published.
Oh, speaking of the anthology. So obviously, shout out to Chelsea. We love her. But Melanin Library is working on a fantasy anthology. Yeah. And they are also reaching out to artists. So if you're a Black artist and you potentially want to submit artwork to be in the anthology, which I'm working on, I have a sketch idea, just hasn't went out on paper. You can go to the Melanin Library. I think it's Melanin_library on Instagram, and you can go look at the application and like read on it, because like a couple of stipulations are things like it can't be any work that you've already published like on your own stuff. Yeah. And whatever you submit, if it does end up in the anthology, like it's something that you cannot actually post on your page or make products of or anything like that until after it's been completely published. And I think you have until the end of this month, I think, to submit. So if you are looking to be a part of a fantasy anthology, like check out the Melanin Library.
Also, Black authors are wanted. Submissions, and let's see, I'm just looking at their Instagram so I can get the most accurate information for y'all, but they're looking for short stories with Black main characters, Black authors, full of fantasy and magic, and written for an adult audience. And as of 3 days ago, they said the submissions were still open. I believe they close August 30th. So if you're an up-and-coming author who writes fantasy, this is for you. They're looking for short stories.
I think it would be good. Melanin Publishing is trying to, we want to see them continue to grow.
I'm really excited about them like expanding. And okay, so here are the submission guidelines for those who are interested. It must be Black fantasy, no racial trauma, which I love that is.
Ooh, I love that is an option.
New adult and adult stories with 4,000 to 7,000 word count. Black characters, Black love interests, if applicable, previously unpublished and written by a Black author. But if you're interested, you can go check out Melanin_library on Instagram. They also have a website, the Melanin Library website, which is also an amazing resource for basically all the Black books and authors that you can imagine.
Yep. So I guess that's the end of the kickoff. So if you're watching this playback, if you have questions, feel free to write them in the comments. We will get to them. You can also remember that we are on Instagram at Black Prose Book Club, and we are on TikTok by the same handle. So get active. Happy reading. Hopefully you guys remember to read the group read with us. That way we could all have a pretty engaging conversation about it next Sunday. We do promise to give you guys a full-length Black Prose episode on next Sunday, so keep a lookout for that. You'll be getting the little notification reminder to set notifications, because I've also heard that YouTube kind of like took off some people's notifications for our channel because we had stopped posting. So don't forget to hit the notification button and the like button for this video.
Yes. And we will catch y'all in these TikTok and Instagram streets.
Bye, guys.
Bye.